Today's guest on Out of Office for Good is Kenneth Kaden Chin. He is Malaysia's first Commonwealth Powerlifting Champion. The funny part is, he wasn't always training to be a national athlete. In fact, he was just a regular gym bro when he discovered the sport, as he was walking by a powerlifting competition in a mall and thought to himself, maybe I could try that too. And since then, he's broken records, he's won gold medals, and he's represented the nation in competitions all around the world. And the best part is, he does this all while working a full-time job in digital marketing, and he does a bit of freelancing on the side too. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down how he balances both worlds and what it's really like to make history for your country when most of Malaysia doesn't even know that powerlifting exists. Hey Kenneth, how are you doing?
Hello, morning.
So Kenneth, for those
Mm,
that are unfamiliar with the sport,
mm,
could you just very briefly tell us what is
mm.
powerlifting?
Okay, so powerlifting is basically like how weightlifting is,
Mm.
like how we watch on the Olympics. But the movement itself, it requires a different type of discipline where it consists of squat, bench press, and deadlift. So it is also kind of like a sibling sport to weightlifting itself, but in a different movement
Oh,
type.
interesting.
Yeah.
And has it been around for a while?
Actually, powerlifting has been existed for many, many years. I would say like more than 50 years. Yeah, but in Asia itself, it's still relatively new in the past decade.
Okay. If it's been around for 50 years, it's about
Mm.
time that it becomes part of the Olympic sport, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. And I'm so curious about
Mm,
your journey because it's just
mm,
so
mm,
unique,
mm,
right?
mm,
Could you please share what was your career path like
mm, mm,
when you were fresh out of university,
mm.
right up to when you discovered powerlifting?
Okay, so basically, when I first started working, like right after graduates, I actually ventured into the marketing line because I actually like studied in mass communication back then. But I have always been working out since the uni time as well. So you can say like my life has been revolved around in the fitness industry for a very, very long time already. Since I would say like 2009, since I started out my fitness journey. So back then, how I kind of like juggle my time between like working life and also going to the gym to work out has been sort of like balanced in a way that I have a daytime job, and then after my working hours, I'll just like head to the gym for my workout sessions lah.
I see. So you started off with conventional marketing, but then now your job is full-time in digital marketing.
Yep.
So in a way, you kind of did a switch there as well.
Yeah. It actually happened during I would say right before COVID happens. Actually I saw that there is actually like a trend of popularity and also growing of the digital marketing field. And then this is also something that I foresee that in the future this is the thing that the company or the world that actually needs moving forward. And then I decided to like even step down from my managerial role when I was in the conventional marketing to just started out fresh in digital marketing. And ever since it's never been a regret lah.
I see. So you did two big switches in your
Yeah,
career.
exactly.
And then
Yeah.
what made you interested in powerlifting?
uh I think that actually like moves back to I think like 2016 if I'm not mistaken, where I actually like one day I went to a shopping mall and then I came across a local powerlifting meet. uh and then I was actually like get fascinated by the environment, the vibe, the audiences, because like every time those lifters actually come out to lift, and then all the audiences is they'll be like, shouting and screaming and like kind of like cheering for the lifters themselves. So regardless of who they are, from which country, or even like uh even if they do not know who they are, they will just cheer for you. So that is something that attracted me in the first place lah.
I see. So it was a
Yeah.
very supportive community.
Yeah, exactly,
I see.
Yeah.
And could I then ask you, Kenneth, what was that process like from the time that you decided to try powerlifting right up to when you started training for actual competitions? What was that process like, and did you have a strategy?
Mm, Not really a strategy because I've always been working out even before I venture into powerlifting. And then for actually like for most people, they don't even know, even myself, we don't even know that, those exercises like squat, bench press, and deadlifts that we have been doing like casually in the gym uh is actually revolves around a sport itself, which is called powerlifting. So for me to start being preparing into competition, it's not that tough in the beginning because I've been kind of like associated myself within these exercises as well. Just that I need to know how to improve my technique, and then much more on knowing how the rules are all about during the competition themselves.
I see. So then how did you research and learn about the sport?
I think I just like relied mostly on the internet lah. Like basically just browse through around the articles or even like YouTube videos to see how to actually like live in a certain way.
Were there associations established already for powerlifting at the time?
I remember when I actually like first came across that particular local event. It was actually like an unsanctioned meet back then because there was an association, but it is actually not sanctioned with our Ministry of Youth and Sports. So it's kind of like a what's it called? Volunteer, or kind of like a casual association for people just to join powerlifting for fun, something like that. And then it all started like in 2017, where the actual association that was actually being established and then get sanctioned under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, uh, and also the International Powerlifting Federation. That is where we actually have the opportunity to actually represent the nation to compete overseas.
I see. So before this association was sanctioned, were you already in powerlifting, or did that happen after that?
It actually happened before that. So I still remember my first ever powerlifting meet that I joined is actually like I mentioned earlier, is not under those sanctioned association. So back then when I first join into the competition, just to have fun, something like that, but it's not to a point that, oh, I wanted to like go further, like even like representing beyond the country.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious about what was the financial situation like then when you went for competitions, especially competitions overseas. I can imagine it's quite expensive.
If competing domestically, I would say it's not that expensive in a way that you just have to pay for the registration fees. But most of the expenses actually comes, I would say, like from the personal level. It's more towards the equipment that you need to purchase in order for you to compete in a better way. But when it comes to like overseas competition, there will be a lot of variables that comes into this situation where like those flight tickets, those hotels, the international federation registration fees, anti-doping fees. So all these kind of money involved actually will actually push the finances of the sport actually even harder for people to actually like to compete overseas because of that.
I see. And so did you fund these competitions on your own?
Yes, for the majority of my powerlifting journey that I've being competed overseas, most of them are self-funded.
I see.
Mm.
And so what about sponsors or government funding?
Government funding, to be honest, even though we are sanctioned under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, but because our sport is like a sukan bukan teras, so it's technically not under those Olympic program and whatnot. So it is still in a growing process. But however, due to the popularity and also the demand of the sport throughout the world, especially in Asia itself, it's not that prominent yet, which is why it hasn't gained the traction from the government support. Which is why it explains that for the majority of the competitions that we went to overseas, we don't actually get support from the government. There was only one time I remember back then. There was actually my first ever international competitions that I actually went to Kazakhstan with the national team. That was actually like the very very first time, and also if I'm not mistaken, it's like considered like a last time like that. To actually get funds from the government themselves. Yeah, and it happened because we actually like do something like what's it called? Sorry, I can't remember the words. It's like something like a donation kind of
Crowdfunding.
crowdfunding. Yes,
I
correct,
see.
correct, correct. Yeah, that's the keyword. So basically, what we did is we did a crowdfunding campaign on the internet, and then it actually like get viral, and even certain media wanted to cover for us like says.com and whatnot, a lot of them, and then that actually like lashes out into the government uh like board, and then they actually like know about that, and then it happened that one of the reporter actually like asked the Minister of Youth and Sports back then, which is Said Sadiq. And he actually like I'm not sure, is it because he was like in front of the media, and so he promised that he will actually like, okay, he will support the powerlifting team, he
I
will actually like
see.
fund us, something like that. But the funding actually like comes back right after the competition ended.
Oh, okay. So you had to bear all the expenses first, and then after that, you claim back in a way.
Yep, exactly.
That's very interesting. You had to make enough noise for the government to.
Exactly, I know, right?
I guess Syed Sadiq was put in a spot where he had to say yes.
Yes, it was kind of like get pressure in a way.
Okay. And I want to know, Kenneth, at what point did you realize that you could actually be a professional in this sport?
I think it's all started like when the association was being developed, and then we saw that there is actually an opportunity to represent the association and also the country to compete overseas. That is actually where I've taken the sport like even more seriously, in a sense that I want to like represent the country, because it is an honor for me to do so lah. So that is why I make a goal for myself to actually like one day I wanted to like represent my country to compete in this sport.
Now that you're a national athlete, what is it like to represent Malaysia in competitions all around the world? How do you feel?
I definitely feel very honored. And I'm not that type of person who like take things for granted. So when the opportunity being presented to me, I felt like uh, I need to give my 100% effort into into making this work as successful as possible. Of course, there will be like like those moments where like I can't achieve my goals and whatnot. But I've always been like sort of a person that don't give up very easily. So I will try to like every time like trying to make myself improve to be better.
I
Yeah.
see. Were there moments where you questioned if this was the right path for you? Or did you ever consider leaving the sport?
Okay, this a very good question lah. So, indeed, it did happen. I think it was uh reflected way back into 2022, if I'm not mistaken. There was actually the very first Southeast Asia Cup that I actually competed in, and it was thankfully it's like hosted by Malaysia itself. So I was already like part of the organization to actually like to host this particular event. I still remember that I was kind of nominated as being the top contender in my weight category to actually like win that class. But eventually, I actually got fourth. I was like out of the podium. Uh, at the time, it actually like struck me very hard because I felt like I kind of not meeting my own expectation and also a lot of people's expectation that I'm going to win. And then I actually at that time I deemed myself like like a total failure, something like that. So and that's why I at that time I did actually want to like just quit and and get out of the sport once and for all.
I see. But what
Mm,
kept you going and what did you do
mm.
after that?
Uh, I think it's because my girlfriend back then, which is my wife right now, she kind of like supported me like throughout my whole journey, and also during my hardest moment, she keep on like staying with me, encouraging me. So that eventually made me able to like finally make a decision to hire a professional coach uh, to actually like get myself bounce back from there.
I see. It's very inspiring because instead of quitting, you took the other route where you thought to yourself, what can I improve? What can I do to get better? And
Yep.
then hiring that professional coach from overseas actually
Mm.
helped you.
Yep, definitely. Because when I started powerlifting, I actually have been self-coaching myself for a very, very long time. If I'm not mistaken, like up to five years at that time.
Crazy.
Yeah. So everything I learn is actually just through like watching on the YouTubes, learn through from the articles or even like postings on social medias just to learn from these channels. But I've always never wanted to hire a coach. I think mainly is because I'm always that person who have that kind of a mindset that if I can do things by myself, why should I need someone to like to like coach me in that
Yeah.
sense lah. But it also kind of like putting me in a spot where I couldn't actually like improve further already. It's like okay, I'm already like capped at my limit. So I don't know where can I go from there. And then when I made a decision to hire a coach from overseas, uh that actually uh helped me to actually go beyond what I am capable to do at that time. And I've never been regretted to in that decision lah.
I see. It was a game
Mm.
changing decision.
Yeah, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah.
You spoke about mindset a little bit.
Mm,
So I actually want to ask you,
mm,
how has your mindset changed now that you're a
mm,
national athlete
mm.
compared to when you're just a regular person?
Oh, nice one. I think this one actually changed my character quite a lot. Because I remember back then I was like, just like everyone else, like I don't have a dream. I don't have a goal to strive for. Whatever things I do in life is just, just to pass the days, right? Something like that. So uh I still remember like when I actually like, ever since I got represented the country and started competing overseas like many times, I started to develop that kind of responsibility in me. Because back then I'm not that kind of a person who will, uh will help that kind of responsibility very very intensely lah, because I'm actually the youngest in my family, so I was being brought up in a way that I'm kind of like gifted in a sense that
Anak manja lah.
yeah, anak manja like that. So that's why I've been manja for my whole life lah. Even though we are not from a rich family background, but regardless, I am still not to a point that I am today lah versus who I am today. So which is why I wanted to say that the path that I've picked into, going into this powerlifting route definitely has made a very, very huge impact in changing my character, like to be a very responsible person, to be even stricter with my own routines, and like very compliant to my own goals, like whichever goals that I wanted to like set out, I will like put out my 100% effort to in order to strive for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that switch happened
Mm.
when you started the training? When you actually started thinking like, oh, I'm going to train for competitions?
Mhm.
Or did it happen right at the start when you just had the interest?
I think it's the former. Because from the start, I still remember when I first ventured into this sport. It's just for the sake of having fun. Just wanted to try out powerlifting itself. How does it feel? Something like that. At the time, it was there wasn't even any goal of like like representing the country or whatnot. I think it is developed since the the sanction association has been built, has been created. That is where I can see that there's an opportunity to compete overseas. That actually like made me to to have that kind of a mindset to be to train in a more professional way. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see. And I know there are lots of people who struggle with discipline and time management.
Okay.
So, what do you think they should do, or what have you done in the past to overcome that problem?
Okay, when it comes to discipline part, uh, I think even before I started powerlifting, when I was just casually working out myself, I've always been very disciplined to like doing my own things. Uh, I'm not sure is it because this is the way how I was being brought up in my family. Like when I'm into doing something, I need to put my my focus into it. And then it is also because I have a very deep passion in the fitness industry. Back then, even before I started powerlifting, so I always love going to the gym. I still remember like back then, whenever I was like working during the day, I always have that the thing that in my mind like okay what I'm going to train tonight, oh I'm going to be like very excited with the session tonight. Blah, blah, blah. So back to your question is like I think you need to find what you are really passionate about, and then the discipline and the time management will actually comes on its own, because you know that you love something, you will put your attention, your effort into making it happen.
Interesting. So,
Yeah,
find your passion and then get obsessed with it.
exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
Kenneth, most national athletes start training at a very, very young age. I mean, Tiger Woods started playing golf when he was like 2 years old. Whereas for you, you got into powerlifting in your late 20s. Do you feel like it's a disadvantage?
Yes and no, because I think from the perspective of being able to start out young, I think it actually carries a lot of advantage, as in there's a lot of room of improvement and growth since you have been like beginning in this sport like in a very young age. There's a lot of trials and error that you can afford to make mistake with and to grow from there. But just that from my point where I started out pretty late in this sport, like the room of improvement is there, but it's not to a point that I can actually like compare myself to the younger generations. But I don't see that as a very, very huge disadvantage in that sense. Is because I think I'm also blessed that I'm started out this late because I think the mindset I had back then wasn't kind of like ready for this big stage yet. I think like every of this step actually like plays a very important role in my life lah. Like how everything like gradually happened on its own, but also like reflecting how I actually like started out pretty late and then into my age right now. I think I've been a very mature person in how to handle myself in this sport, and to be able to inspire a lot of younger lifters to actually like come out from their comfort zone to do something that they have never done in their lives, to also like venture into powerlifting, or even like had the opportunity to represent the country. I think this is the way that I have helped to inspire a lot of younger people in that sense lah. So I don't see like that as a disadvantage, but I deem that as an honor for me to have the privilege to do so lah.
Yeah, it's a very positive perspective to take
Mm.
because now you know what your role is to play and that everything that happened at the right time for you.
Yeah,
If
correct.
you were pushed into powerlifting when you were like 2 years old,
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Kenneth, aside from powerlifting,
Mm,
you also work full time in digital marketing
mm,
and you also do freelancing on the side.
mm,
Why do you choose to keep doing
mm.
all three things?
Uh, I think first of all, it all boils down to the passion that I had in all three of them. Uh, like I mentioned, I've always have the passion in the fitness industry, and I mean more specifically in the powerlifting sport. And towards my passion in my career in terms of the digital marketing side, that actually got developed when I first started like shifting my career line from the conventional marketing to the digital marketing field. And I absolutely love how the digital marketing things work, and then I really love like in terms of like analyzing the data, and also like doing ads for a diverse clients from different industries. That is the thing that fascinated me the most lah, which is why uh whenever I know I'm in love of something, I won't do things like like a half baked something like that. So I will always put my 100% effort into making it better, into making it happen. So even though I need to juggle between all these three, I don't find it like very tiring or whatnot, but I find it very satisfying in that sense.
Crazy. So you
Yeah.
basically love doing all those things
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you have more than one passion.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And I'm the type of person who cannot just sit still off and doing nothing. I need to feel occupied. I need to feel that I have a lot of responsibility, that throughout my 24 hours I have a lot of things to manage, to need to do. So yeah, that is how crazy I am.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But then how do you balance it all? Do you use any tools or do you have systems in place to help you with that?
Um, well, there is no particular system, but I still remember I actually like read a book back then. It's actually called The Seven Habits of Highly Successful People. Uh, One of the habits that I actually adopted uh very, very well in my own life is to have a win-win situation. So whenever I do certain things, I will always try to think in a win-win way, how I am going to cope with like project A, or even at the same time, how can I do the project B. So concurrently, uh, I will try to strive a balance between everything of this.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's say you have training to do today. But then today you also have a family gathering at 3 p.m. So like what is a win-win situation in that scenario?
I think it's actually pretty straightforward that we need to just manage our time very properly. Like for example, if there's a 3 p.m. event, then I just basically need to train either in the morning or at night, something like that. Especially if knowing that the event will just ongoing for the next a few hours. But if I know something like it will just carry on until the end of the day, then I need to get my training in the morning, something like that. So at the end of the day, it's like how I wanted to like balance everything, and so that I can actually able to do all the things that I want to do.
I see.
Mm.
I mean, it may not always be a perfect scenario where
Yeah,
you can
correct.
do it all,
Correct.
but I like the idea that it's striking a balance rather than a compromise of one over the other lah.
Yes, yes, yes. I think that would actually falls under a certain people who are very rigid with their own routine. Like for example, or they have to do a certain things at a certain time. But for me, I think that to be able to be flexible in managing your time, to be able to cope with everything is much more important in that sense, so that you don't get miss out certain things in your life that you might potentially regret with lah.
Exactly, especially now that you have a wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then soon you'll be starting a family, so there are more things to juggle. But
Yeah.
it's a very good concept. I
Yeah.
love it. I learned that today.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Kenneth, for let's say there's somebody who's interested in trying something new. It could be a new sport or a new side hustle, or maybe even a new hobby. What should they do to get really, really good at this new venture?
Okay, good one. I think first and foremost, you need to know is that thing really something that you're passionate with? Because I think everything that for us as human being that we want to do in our lives, it all comes down to if we are in love with the things that we do. Because if we don't have that passion in the things that we wanted to do, right, we will find it very torturous to go through it. Like for example, so some people they don't like their job, and then every day they'll find themselves like being dragged to the office, like every day, and then to go through like a hell session, something like that. So if you don't really like something, it won't be sustainable. So that's why I think that there's no perfect way in doing certain things. Like for example, you say that someone that wanted to stay healthy, they want to exercise, something like that. But some people thought that, but I do not like going to the gym. I do not like to lift weights. Yeah, but I mean, the sports have a lot of varieties. You can always do something that you love. Not necessarily you have to lift weights. So as long as you find something that you love, that is pretty much that you can actually sustain it for like almost every day, because you always look forward to the day that you wanted to do that thing. So that's why the message is more like finding what you are really passionate about, and then your life will eventually automatically like get adapted in making it successful.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this book called Range,
Mhm.
where the idea of it is to try a wide range of different things and then see what clicks, because sometimes it's quite a struggle to find your passion, right? I mean, even for me, it took me a very long time. And so, like, you need to find your passion first, then only get obsessed with it.
Yep.
But some people haven't even got to step one yet.
Yep.
And so I guess the goal is to try a variety of different activities and different sports and different hobbies. And then once it clicks, then you go all the way in.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
think that also I can't remember like what was the guy name, but I still remember he was a very successful entrepreneur from the UK, if I'm not mistaken. he kind of like interviewed a lot of people like on the street, like asking a lot of people like what are your dreams, what are your dreams, and the message he's trying to bring out is that uh, for him to be a multimillionaire, he has a certain passion on doing certain things, and then that is where he able to find himself to be very successful in doing that particular thing, and then that actually like help him to generate a lot of income from there. So the message that he wants to like bring out to other people, which I very very agree with, is find something that you are passionate with, and then the income stream will actually like flow on its own because you don't have to force it by yourself.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that to happen, Kenneth.
Yeah. Thanks, boss.
No, but that's really good advice.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask you then, let's say there's someone out there watching that wants to explore switching careers like what you did, or maybe even setting up a new income stream. In that scenario, what factors do they have to consider before deciding between juggling both their old and new venture, or to quit one venture and to focus all in the new venture?
Mm, to me, there's no right or wrong way. It depends on eventually how you want your life to be and how you want to work on certain things. So there's I mean certain people that like even for yourself you can actually like just quit one thing and then you just put in 100% into the other thing that you wanted to strive for certain people like even myself, I will try to like do like try to balance it out everything so that I can still put 100% into everything that I wanted to do. But I think we all find commonalities in this pathway, which is doing things that we love for. So I think first, like I mentioned earlier, it's back to the root to the root question, which is this something that you love? Is this something that you're willing to sacrifice for? So one of the factors I think that might influence your decision is perhaps I would say your financial situation, and also how much sacrifices that actually would impact your life if you uh wanted to select in a pathway that you will forego one of the things that you have been doing. So at the end of the day you will still need to weigh it yourself whether which one actually contributes the most, and uh, from the least contribution one, then you will know that certain thing can be sacrificed in a way.
I see. I
Mm,
see. And also, I think another factor, and this is coming from your story as well, is do you like doing both things or not? Because if they enjoy doing both of their old and their new jobs, then why give up both as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, it
Yeah.
depends on capacity too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that also reflects to how I personally have been doing things in my life lah. That's why I don't like try to like quit certain things just to put myself full force in another route. But because for me, I need to feel occupied. I need to feel that I have a lot of responsibility in my hand. So that's why I'm not that type person that I will just just let go of something. As long as I have the ability to cope with all these things, then I don't see any issue. But if in the sense that there is a certain thing that 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 it's not really enjoyable to a certain extent, and it also impacts your life in a certain way, I think that actually worth for you to actually ask back yourself, would it be better if you actually like tune down that particular things that you are doing in a way that you can try to make room for the other aspects of your life to be better.
This question is going to require a little bit of imagination from you. In a perfect world, what would the powerlifting industry look like in terms of resources, popularity, etc.?
In a perfect world, I think okay, I think based on the resources that we have right now, is actually quite plentiful because a lot of us are already social media users, and powerlifting itself, like they have a lot of like different coaches from all around the world. They tend to like put out a lot of very useful content to actually help different lifters from all over the world to actually like improve themselves. So I think that the resources is actually quite readily available already, but it's just that if in order to make it even more perfect from there, I think it's the fundings that comes from the government of their own particular country. So like for example in Malaysia, even though we are sanctioned by the Ministry of Youth and Sport, but we don't really get fundings from them directly for most of the time. So I think having the government to actually like fund this sport and also our athletes, I think that can actually help retain a lot of younger lifters for them to like continue in this journey. I think because one of the biggest factor for a lot of young lifters nowadays that they could not actually sustain in the powerlifting sport is because due to the lack of funding and also based on how young they are, they usually don't have the capability enough to actually sustain in this sport. So that's why I think to have government support in that sense can actually help contribute to this community for a lot lah.
I think it would also help with popularity as well. When you get the right funding, you get the right training, you win more competitions, and then the sport becomes more popular as well.
Yep, exactly. I think even when the sport right now it's still on like still growing, I still believe like if there is a point that the sport itself able to get into the Olympics, the popularity itself will definitely surge lah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kenneth,
Yeah.
we're nearing toward the end of the
Mm.
podcast now.
Mm.
I have just two more questions for
Mm.
you. One is, what do you hope that people can take away from your story and your journey?
I think for most people out there who do not have a dream, uh, do not be worried. Because I think everyone's starting point is different. Like some people they able to find their dream like from a very young age. Some people started out very late. There's no definite answer of what is the ideal or perfect starting point of our life. It all depends when you really made a decision that okay, I wanted to make an impact in my life. I want to make a difference towards a certain community. I think that is where you can see that there's a big changes in your life.
Random question for you. If you were given 100 ringgit to make someone's life better, what would you do with it?
Okay, 100 ringgit lah. Okay, so 100 ringgit, it doesn't sounds big or even like too small. But I would say if I have this 100 ringgit to help someone get better, I would use this 100 ringgit very strictly. I want to try to push someone out of their comfort zone. So, for example, 100 ringgit might help someone to pay for their competition registration fees, for example. So, for some lifters who have been casually working out in a gym, but I know that deep down they wanted to try out the sport itself. They wanted to compete, but they don't have enough finances, or even sometimes they afraid of competing in this sport. But I would use this opportunity to urge them to sign up for it, because I'll tell them that okay, I'll pay for this registration fees. All you need to do is come out from your comfort zone and then to make your way to the platform. So I think for me to utilize this very small amount of money to help push someone, it's not about the money itself, because the result might impact beyond the amount lah.
Oh, that's very beautifully said, because you have the chance to change someone's life like that.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
Kenneth, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you. Such an honor to have you on the show. Before we go, could you share with the viewers how can they support you?
Um, so basically, I have like my affiliate links in my Instagram channel. So whenever you guys wanted to like purchase something like for example like powerlifting equipment or even like foods or even supplements, I have a personal discount code that you can always support me in that sense lah.
And also, they can follow you on your socials.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your Instagram handle?
Kenneth_Kaden.
Awesome. And do you have any upcoming competitions?
I have a plan of doing one of the national qualifier this year, but I've yet to confirm which one I'm opting to because I'm actually like planning to move up a weight category from there. So I think that will kind of like reset my powerlifting competition journey lah. But
That's it.
yeah, but I'm actually like feeling very excited about it.
Right,
Yeah,
that's another big switch that you're doing.
yeah.
I see. And so when they follow you on your socials, then you'll be able to announce it there and they
Yeah.
can support you in that way.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you so much,
All
Kenneth.
right.
Hey guys, if you found this conversation interesting, please drop a like for this video, comment on which is your favorite part, and share this with somebody that needs a little inspiration in their life. Thank you.